Hello and welcome to the Gatewatch Cast. I am your host, Norman Sanzo, and joining me today is Wilson.
Hi.
So welcome back, Wilson. Where were you last week?
I had some stuff I needed to do, some errands and work. So I'm excited to be back this week.
Awesome.
So I'm bringing a new topic.
Yes. So what is the topic for this week?
The topic for this week is temporary exile effects.
And this is also regarding for the new commander rules?
Yeah, it's quite new, still new. Yeah, the new commander rules. So let me explain about the new commander rules. So everyone knows about the new commander rule, which is now commanders have die or exile triggers. But there are some details that people don't really look for when they're listening to this rule, which is when a commander, let's say, dies, it goes to the graveyard first. Then, before state-based effects are checked, the controller may choose whether or not to put it into the command zone.
So previously it was when your commander is killed, sent to the graveyard, or exiled, it will have the replacement effect on the stack before it goes there, right?
It doesn't go on the stack.
Oh, sorry.
It's just a
replacement effect
where you choose whether or not to put it into command zone or you just put it into your graveyard. So usually it's just directly going to the command zone usually because you can recast it. But there are some other effects for this new commander rule. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is Grasp of Fate. So people use Grasp of Fate a lot. Mm-hmm. Grasp of Fate is 3 and 2 white. Anyway, 1 and 2 white enchantment. When Grasp of Fate enters the battlefield, for each opponent, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls until Grasp of Fate leaves the battlefield. Mm-hmm. So this is changed due to the commander rules. It's still this effect, but there's a method that's changed for this, a ruling for it.
Oh, okay.
So let's say I'm playing a 4-game commander. I cast Grasp of Fate, and my opponents all have their commanders out. And if it were the old commander rules, Grasp of Fate, I choose all 3 of their commanders. Grasp of Fate can allow them to put it back to the command zone due to the old commander rulings. Mm-hmm. And if my Grasp of Fate is destroyed by opponent's enchantment removal, let's say enchantment removal, so their commanders can immediately come back from the command zone. Now, this is confirmed by a number of judges. It's also confirmed on the MTG Magic Judges blog. It says that when it is exiled, they track where it goes instead of where it's supposed to be.
Oh.
So let's say it says Grasp of Fate, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls until it leaves the battlefield. So it tracks. Let's say I put it back into command zone. They track it to the command zone, and once Grasp of Fate leaves the battlefield, it comes back.
Oh, that's very confusing.
It was very confusing. So a lot of people did not like that trigger. However, now it's a bit different. So Grasp of Fate, Banishing Light, let's say Cast Out, Vagrant's Warden, Excellence Binding, and Prison Realm, all of them have the same effects, which is when it enters the battlefield, exile target, maybe creature or maybe non-land permanent, until it leaves the battlefield. So those effects usually are 1-line text. It's not like Oblivion Ring, where they have 2-line text for saying, when this card enters the battlefield, exile target creature, and then they have a leave the battlefield effect when this when this enchantment leaves the battlefield. This return the exile card from exile into the battlefield. So it's a bit different now. So what I want to say is, with the new commander ruling, because it tracks it, once you exile it, it will first go into the exile zone before going back to the command zone. So it was tracked to go into the exile zone first. Then, if let's say you are confident that you can destroy it, you can bring it back. You can put it into the exile zone instead of bringing it to command zone. So let's say Grasp of Fate, I exile 3 of their commanders, and they put all of them in. 2 of them put into exile, while 1 of them put it back into the command zone. If someone destroys the Grasp of Fate, the 2 of them who put it into exile will bring them back, but the one that put it into command zone won't bring it back.
So this is the new current rule then.
It is interpreted as such.
All right.
Yes.
So, that was very confusing because you need to know the game inside out. So, like, I especially in Commander, because Commander has its own quote unquote own rule set.
Yes.
So that for the longest time, I got no idea when a friend of ours told me that, oh, did you know that Banishing Light has this ability in Commander? And I was like, wait, what? I'm so confused. How? Wait, what? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So the current rule set makes things go back to normal.
It does.
So basically, the replacement effect does not exist for the Commander cards, right? So when your Commander dies, it goes to the graveyard or exile zone first.
Yes.
And then you have the option to move it to the command zone.
Yes, it does.
All right. So that's one of those things that people might not know, because some people they didn't know that's the rule, because you have the Alexandria, the Dark Rose.
Yes, Alexandria, who has the dying triggers, is practically overshadowed by those commanders that actually die, like Chavalara, Rolesk, Alexandria, as you said. But I think this is a very important ruling now, because a lot of people think that they can bring back the commanders if they destroy the enchantment, which in reality doesn't work that way anymore. It happened to me like a few weeks ago when I was playing with my own play group, where I exiled with Grasp of Fate, but then one of my friends destroyed it and they thought they could bring it back. When like, no, new commander rule.
Ah, I see. Okay. So, anything else to add before I chime in on my thing?
Sure. Nothing else.
All right. So, what you mentioned there was very interesting, and there's one thing I've heard from the Command Zone podcast, which is a really good podcast that you should check out. But they mentioned Roon of the Hidden Realms. It is a 2 green, white, blue legendary creature, Rhino Soldier, 4/4, has Vigilance Trample, and pay 2 generic, tap, exile target creature. Return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's controller at the beginning of the next end step. So, it sounds similar to Grasp of Fate and whatnot, right? So,
yeah.
One of the things is that, okay, the first part, like exile another target creature, that's its own ability. And then the delay base effect or delay?
It's a delayed trigger.
Okay, the delay trigger effect is on the end step. So, you could use cards that counter the ability, like Stifle or Disallow.
There are a lot.
Yeah, there's a few, but those are the two that are very popular. And I think we mentioned Disallow in our previous podcast.
Yes, we did.
Yep. So what that does is, if an opponent allows their commander to be exiled by Roon, because hey, it's going to come back at the end of the turn. So any of my commander's ability that has the enter the battlefield effect will have a bonus for me. So why not? Until someone counters the ability, and then your commander is gone forever.
This is a this allows you to play mind games with your opponent. Like, does that if they've seen you play it before, they will be like, does this guy have a Stifle in his hand? Does he not? I don't know. Then it plays with their mind. And if they do exile it, and if you do have a Stifle, then you stifle them. Or if you do have a Stifle and they choose to put it in command zone, well, they have to cast it again.
True.
So you can just do it again.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Cards like Oblivion Ring has the same effect that I think effect or just the line base that can work for this, because Oblivion Ring here says it's 2 and white enchantment, and says whenever Oblivion Ring enters the battlefield, exile another target non-permanent. When Oblivion Ring leaves the battlefield, return the exile card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So you could stifle this when Oblivion Ring is destroyed. So it's one of those scenarios where if you're playing with a person, you exile their commander.
Yep.
They can move it to the command zone if they want to, or they could just leave it exile. I mean, it's one of those scenarios where there's a lot of dealing and wheeling going on.
Yep.
But let's just say the person lets it go to the exile zone, and you threaten them saying that, hey, I have a stifle, I have a disallow in my hand. If you attack me, or if you don't do this, so if you don't do this for me for 2 turns, I might use this card on the Oblivion Ring and so on. I mean, it's mean, but that's politics.
Yeah, politics are supposed to be mean.
True.
So yeah, I think this is a very good card to politic with. If you have Stifle or Disallow or Redupliate or any of those cards that counter target trigger abilities.
It's not even countering. It also applies to end the turn effects.
What do you mean?
Because when you end the turn, everything on the stack is removed. And is cleared out.
Oh, so something like Discontinuity.
Discontinuity and also Sundial of the Infinite. So you tap 2, everything on the stack is...
It's exiled.
Yeah, it's exiled and cleared out. So all damage and all whatever effect are cleaned. So you could do this too. So this is mean. Like, we're telling people about mean stuff.
We should. People should know how mean it could be.
Yeah, I mean...
We're educating.
Yeah. It's one of those things where most of the time, people won't be really using cards like Oblivion Ring or Banishing Light. I mean, the chances of them using that is pretty slim.
Yeah.
Because most of those cards are run in a very specific deck. Usually Brago or mostly control style decks and so on.
Yeah, true.
So to say that this is a game changer? Not really. It's just one of those things where you could use it as your weapon in your deck building for the future.
Yeah, true.
So you written down a few cards there. So what do you have there, man?
Those cards are just usually cards that are similar to Grasp Fate. But if usually it's just Cast Out, Banishing Light, Fairgrounds Warden, Excellence Binding, Prison Realm. Those are cards that I see that are usually used in Commander because that is what the essence of it. True.
So, do you have anything more to add? Because if you don't, it's kind of a short episode.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about another topic, which is right now is currently when we're recording. It's Double Master spoiler season. Spoiler season is always my favorite, especially when I see cards that I recognize, cards that I like reprinted. Especially since it's a master set, everything's going to be reprinted.
In all honesty, for me personally, I kind of hate the spoiler season because that means, oh no, I need to spend this much money.
Well, of course, our pockets will be bleeding right now, but...
I'm still recovering from Core 21, man.
You bought a box.
Yeah, I'm still recovering.
You shouldn't buy a box.
True, but I did got some good values in there though.
Yeah, he got a very alternate art.
Yeah, but it's non-foil, so I missed out on that.
Well, I told you to sell it. It was $50. Okay, so what's your favorite card currently when it came out? Since today is the 22nd of July, 23rd of July.
Okay, so
what's your favorite card?
For me personally, right, I've always wanted Jace the Mind Sculptor. So Jace the Mind Sculptor is 2 and 2 blue, legendary planeswalker, Jace. I'm not going to read the whole ability text. There's a picture will be over here somewhere.
Yep.
And it's one of those planeswalker that has 4 planeswalker ability. I think it was the first to have 4 planeswalker ability.
It was the first.
And I've always wanted this card. I've thought about buying it from a friend who had it. And it was the Core 20. No, it was the 25th edition, 25th anniversary edition.
Masters 25.
Yeah, Masters 25. So I was thinking like, I really want to get this one from him, but nah, man, it's like is this much? Is this much? But now it's going to be available in the Double Masters, so that's going to be something. What about you, man?
Yeah, my favorite card for this set is next to Jace the Mind Sculptor is Cyclonic Rift.
Wait, but didn't you had a Cyclonic Rift?
I sold it, which is why I am quite happy that Cyclonic Rift is reprinted, especially since I sold it when it was quite high. But aside from Cyclonic Rift and his newest art, the newest art is so amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The alternate art.
Oh, even Jace. Jace has an alternate art of it. So.
Jace's alternate art was quite different because it's a reprint
really?
from its masterpiece version.
Okay.
There was a version of it that came out from Ravnica, the Guilds of Ravnica block. They had Mythic Edition. But actually, my favorite card that's reprinted is Sunforger.
Oh yeah, that one.
Although Sunforger is quite cheap right now to get, but Sunforger is an essential card in Boros or maybe anything that has red and white deck.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, Sunforger is 3 mana, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +4/+0. It has a red and a white, unattached Sunforger. Search your library for a red or white instant card with CMC 4 or less and cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then shuffle your library. And it's equipped 3. So I think everyone knows how good Sunforger is. Sunforger is one of the staples if you are playing a red and white deck or anything that has white and white. And what about you? What do you think about Sunforger?
I have Sunforger really in my
Fire Song Sun Speaker?
Yeah, but I never had the chance to put it on. But still, I have it. And in a Boros deck, it works really well because it's the card that allows you to have multiple answers for every situation. If a person wants to attack you, you could pay the cost, find a CMC 4 or lower card to give you the answer. Or my favorite thing is, if a person wants to do something, you could always counter them with lapse of memory.
True.
Yeah, so
you can also find a deflecting sword trying to change your target.
So it's one of those cards that Sunforger is good. And if you're playing in red and white, so you could just, if you have a third color, Jeskai, Naya, and what was it again? There's only 2, right?
Jeskai, Naya, there's a lot though, like Mardu.
Mardu.
Anything that has red and white.
Yeah, so you could use that as your answer there. Because especially if you play in blue or green, or even black, you have those options to find an answer for the current situation. So those kind of situations or those kind of cards are awesome. And that style of play, I've done it before in Zur the Enchanter. Enchantress or Enchanter?
Enchanter.
Enchanter.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
Enchantress is a girl.
Okay, so Enchanter. And the idea for that one is swing, look at the board first. If there's a problem that you couldn't solve or needs to get rid of, you swing. You take out a 3 CMC or lower enchantment and say Banishing Light. You take a Banishing Light and you banish a thing that you don't want on the board. And since it's not cast, people can't counter it. So it's one of those things where it's a free tutor every time you attack. So it's not, I won't say it's not fair. How to say, is it fair? I don't think so. It's mean. That's what I say.
Not really mean, because you built your deck to be that way, so it's not really mean.
Yeah, true. I mean, you could build Zerd Voltron if you want to.
Yeah, Voltron. Yeah. But maybe Zerd will be reprinted in Double Masters. Yeah. But I also have a good card here. It's called Trinisphere.
Trinisphere.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's a story behind why I like Trinisphere, but I'll read you the text for Trinisphere right now. It's a 3 mana artifact. As long as Trinisphere is untapped, each spell that will cost less than 3 mana to cast costs 3 mana to cast. So let's say I have a land, my opponent has a Trinisphere on battlefield. My land or else that usually costs only 1 green mana will turn into one green and 2 colorless. Or maybe something I have like Cast Down, which is a black and 1 colorless. It will become a black and 2 colorless instead.
But isn't Cast Down?
It's a 2 mana card.
Yeah, but isn't Cast Down minusing the cast?
No, it's destroy. No,
Oh,
it destroy target legendary, non-legendary creature.
I was thinking about something else then, right?
Yeah. So the reason why I like Trinisphere is because when there was a story behind this. I was in Singapore, and I was playing my friend's CEDH deck, and I went first. And it was since it was CEDH, usually you mulligan until you get a good hand. So I mulligan to 5, and I got a land, Mana Vault, and Trinisphere, and Mana Crypt, and then Trinisphere. And I was like, I played turn 1 land, Mana Crypt, Trinisphere. My opponents all conceded. I'm serious because all of them told me that they had 1-drops in their hands and mana crits and mana vaults and mana crits, yeah. And those mana crits had to pay for 3 now. And they said they had the win cons in their hands, and like, okay. So Trinisphere is one of the cards that allowed me to win on turn 1. I have turn 2 wins before, but never on turn 1.
It's one of those cases where this is what happened when you play CEDH. Nobody's ready for that kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, it was all luck, to be honest, because I did not have any lands in my first 3 hands. So, what are your other favorite cards?
So, some of the cards that I really want in this set are Doubling Seasons.
Yes, Doubling Season.
Some of the Commander reprints. We got what, Breya, Atraxa, Kalia.
Yes.
We talked about Kalia last week, so you can just imagine why I'm very excited for Kalia. So, there's a lot of cards in here that can make really good commanders. Even you got what, Reach the Redeemer. Let me read for you guys what this says. Reach the Redeemer. It's a hybrid green-white legendary creature, Elf Warrior, 1/1. It says pay 2 and hybrid green-white. Tap. Create a 1/1 green and white Elf Warrior creature token. The other ability is 4 and 2 hybrid white-green. Tap. For each creature token you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. So basically, you can elf ball all the way through. Like, if you play with Doubling Season, instead of creating 1 elf, you create 2 elves. And then, when you use the second ability, instead of creating, another 2 elf, you create another 4 elves? Something like that?
Anointed Procession.
Oh.
And then, Parallel Lives.
Oh God.
How much is it? It first doubles, quadruples, then I forgot what's the times 8.
Oh God, still one of those cases where, yeah, there's a lot, but there's some here that I really enjoy. Like, I just want it because it's one of those cool scenarios.
Well,
Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack is fun, yo.
Yes, especially if you Ulamog it. I sneak attack Ulamog and Emrakul before. Not in EDH, but in others.
You know, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
You could play this with Menomai, the Sphinx.
Oh, Medomai.
Yeah. So, I don't have it with me now, but could you kind of find it?
Medomai, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
So, the idea for that combo is, it's been done before with the God Pig. I forgot what was it again.
It's much different from the combo Ilhart, the race boar.
Yeah.
But this Ilhart, the race boar essentially says it's a 3 and 2 red. It's a 6/6. It has trample, a legendary creature. The first text is the second text is most important. When Ilhart, the race boar attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Return that creature to your hand at the beginning of the next end step.
Yeah, so basically, with the extra turn, you could just call Medomai again and again and again and have infinite turns.
Yes.
So the idea is still the same. So anyway, what was Medomai again? We didn't really talk about Medomai.
Medomai is a 4 white and a blue. It's a 4/4 legendary creature Sphinx. It has flying, and it says whenever Medomai, the ageless, deals combat damage to a player, take an extra turn after this one. Medomai, the ageless, can't attack during extra turns. So what you're thinking, I know what you're thinking, but I don't think it works.
Really?
Because it says it doesn't go in directly put in attacking. Unlike Ilhart, the race board.
Oh yeah. My bad then. But still, having sneak attack there is fun. Like,
yeah, sure.
If you have something big like a Nulamog or even one of the cards I'm also excited is in an artifact. It has a very mean card, Blightsteel Colossus for 12. Trample, Infect, and Indestructible. So basically, I want to cast this thing out. I spend 1 red. I put in Blightsteel. I swing you for Infect.
True. Also, with sneak attack, we said just now about end of turn spells. If you have end of turn spells, like let's say Discontinuity or Sundown Infinite, you can sneak attack something in, and then Sundown the Infinite ending the turn, and the delayed trigger won't go onto the stack, and you keep the whatever creature you put on the battlefield.
True. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Like, oh, too bad it isn't legal in modern.
What, the Blight Steal or Sneak Attack?
The sneak attack.
Uh,
Let's do. I think it's legal. I think.
Alright. What's your card?
Well, my favorite. Now, the next card I'm going to talk about is one that is a much needed reprint. Really, it is. Where is it? Court of Calling.
Funny enough, when I saw Court of Calling in my collection, because I was a guy who played in the M15 set, I was looking at it at first and then thinking, this card is too expensive. Like, I can't really pay the cost to kind of use it in a meaningful sense. Unbeknownst to me, I could just pull out anything that I really want that can help with the situation.
Well, you don't really play green.
Yeah, true. But if I do play green, which I do have a deck today that I have green,
Hold this.
I can spend the mana and pull out. I'm forgetting the creature's name.
What does it do?
Untap everything.
Untap everything.
Yes.
A green creature
Yes.
that untaps everything.
Yes. Untap.
On the beginning of each turn.
Yes.
Seaborn Muse.
Yeah, Seaborn Muse. How could I forget? Yes. So, on the end turn of anybody really, you just tap it out, pay 5x, and pull out Seaborn Muse. On the person's untap step, you untap 2. So basically, you just pull out Seaborn Muse for not really free, but still, you pull her out in a situation where it is much needed.
You just remember when we talked about Race the Redeem just now?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you can put Court Calling within Race the Redeem deck because Court Calling has Convoke. By the way, we forgot to talk about its effect. Court of Calling is... I'll let you do it.
Alright, let me go find it first. Okay, so Court of Calling is an instant for X and 3 green. It has Convoke. Convoke is your creatures can help cast this spell. Each creature you tap while casting this spell pays for 1 generic or 1 mana of that creature's color. And then the ability for this card is search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less and put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. So yeah, like I mentioned before, pay X, get something you need, and you're all set.
True.
Also, if you're playing in red usually it's red. If you're playing in red, you could copy the spell.
Red or blue?
Blue has copies? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You have that. What do you call that? The enchantment that does it. I forgot what it's. It's a blue one.
If I'm not mistaken,
Storm's Intelligence.
Yeah, Storm's Intelligence. Yes.
There's a lot.
Yeah. So basically, you pay for. Wow. Technically, you could do a lot of damage with this combo. It's still, it's one of those things that Court of Calling is a much needed reprint. It hasn't been reprinted, right?
It has not yet. By the way, there's a very interesting combo with a Court of Calling with a new one of the new commanders from Commander 2020. Calamax.
Oh, Calamax.
Yes.
Oh.
So when you're casting the spell, first off you declare that you're gonna cast a spell. Then you tap your mana for it. Then after that, once you tap your mana, you cast the spell. And then when you cast the spell, because Calamax has been tapped for Convoke, it can copy the Court of Calling.
It copies everything, including the X costs.
Yes, it copies everything, including the X cost. But since it says X or less, right? So it doesn't really matter.
True.
But you get to do cast it twice. So I think that's a very good thing for Calamax decks, additions to Calamax decks.
Oh, yeah. And I have to correct myself. Court of Calling has been Court of Calling has been reprinted before. The Core 15 was its second reiteration. The first one was in Ravnica, City of Guilds.
Ah yes, because it's Convoke. Yeah, Celestian. Celestian.
Yeah. So we got Court of Calling. We didn't really say anything about white, did we?
Well, Reese is considered white.
Hybrid, but still. I want Wrath of God because you're playing in a commander game. You really need those board wipes, and Wrath of God is a really good board wipe. It's I'll just read what it says. Wrath of God, 2 and 2 white sorcery, destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. So basically, it's a basic board wipe. Nothing so special about it.
But it prevents regeneration.
Yep. But on top of that, it is a 4-cost board wipe. Usually in the modern age, board wipes are at 5, and if they're lower, they have some negatives. Yeah.
But since you're talking about board wipes, white board wipes, I have another one which is Austere Command. It's 4 and 2 white sorcery, and you choose 2. Destroy all artifacts, or destroy all enchantments, or destroy all creatures with CMC 3 or less, or destroy creatures with CMC 4 or greater. It's a much more expensive board wipe, but it's very selective.
And versatile.
Yes, and versatile. So let's say you have creatures that you want to destroy all creatures. So you just cast Austere Command, choosing the CMC 4 and or greater and CMC 3 or less. But let's say you have very annoying combo pieces on your opponent's battlefield, which is, let's say, artifacts or maybe enchantments sometimes. You can just choose, I'm going to destroy all the artifacts and enchantments right now.
Yeah.
So Austere Command, in my opinion, very good reprint, much needed. Although it has been reprinted a few times in old Commander decks.
True, and also in the recent Iconic Masters.
Iconic Masters, yes. That's not recent anymore. I feel old now.
Yeah, but still, it was there. Another card that I really want, and I'm glad they have a reprint of it, is Expedition Map. So, Expedition Map is a 1-cost artifact, and the ability is pay 2, tap, sacrifice Expedition Map, search your library for a land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So I'm guessing for you guys who are new to the game are just wondering, why do I want this card and why do I like this card? Because here's the thing, you're paying for essentially 3 to get whatever land you want, and it doesn't come in tapped. So that's a positive land game.
It doesn't put in a battlefield.
Oh.
It puts in your hand.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't. Still okay. My bad.
But it's still good because you can fetch any type of land. Let's say it fetches one of your combo pieces, lands. Let's say the Dark Depths Thespian Stage combo, or Risuba combo, or maybe even the, what do you call that? Cabal Coffers, Urborg combo.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Another one, if you're playing in a monocolor, Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. So that's another one that you really want.
Yep. And there's one more card artifact that I really like. It's still expensive, but hopefully I can open it. It's Mana Crypt.
But Mana Crypt is kind of the holy grail of the Magic booster pack thing.
Well, it does look like a holy grail.
Yeah, but the alternate art for it does looks really nice.
Not for me though, because it just looks like a cave instead of crypt.
Say it's really nice, so you can sell it to a person who really wants it.
It's really nice. Well, we'll see. But I predict that Mana Crypt will be sought out for a number of reasons. It's $100 when pre-order on the website that we checked on, but maybe it will go down due to the supply. But who knows? Because like each booster is around $17 USD, which is around our LGS is selling 50 ringgit.
Oh, still that hurts.
Yeah, it hurts a lot, but we'll see.
True. I mean, Mana Crypt. You want to read it?
Yeah, Mana Crypt. 0 mana artifact. 0. Yeah, you have to listen properly. 0 mana. You can play on turn 1 without any cost. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip coin. If you lose the flip, Mana Crypt deals 3 damage to you. And then tap, add 2 colorless to your mana pool. To be honest, the flip a coin thing isn't really that much of a drawback.
True. I mean, it depends on what kind of deck you're playing.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, if it's getting too much for you, just don't use it or destroy it.
Yeah, true.
But still, Mana Crypt is one of those cards that CEDH players really, really want because it speeds up the game. On turn 1, you could cast it out for free. You play a land, tap a Soul Ring, then you
Trinisphere.
you could do that, or you could tap 1, cast out a Wafer's Bauble.
And then crack it to search for a land and put it on the battlefield.
You'll be set for life.
That's not C. That's not really.
No, not really CEDH. But
yeah, it's a good EDH card.
Yeah.
It's a good EDH card.
But it's really needed in CEDH.
Yeah, that's why the price is so high.
Yeah.
But what I really like next is also reprinted. Well, everything's a reprint right now.
For now. There's no original, right, in the master set?
No.
Alright.
What I really like is Magus of the Abyss.
Magus, okay.
It's a 3 and a black creature human wizard. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, destroy target non-artifact creature that player controls of their choice. It cannot be regenerated. And it's a 4/3. So Magus of the Abyss is a throwback card. Because it says at the beginning of each player's upkeep, meaning you in one round you get to destroy, let's say, your opponent's one creature each of your opponent. Although you have to destroy your own creature, because you choose your own creature. Let's say you're making a token deck, you can just destroy one of your tokens.
Okay. So why do you want this one?
Because it allows me to politic with my opponent.
Okay.
Although it's their choice, I have to destroy something of their choice.
Oh, okay. I mean, in all honesty, I was looking at this and people were going gaga over it, and I was like wondering why. And then it's kind of a good card, and when I checked the availability for it in terms of where you can get it, it was in the 2017 Commander. It was for the Wizards deck, and I have it, and I never really used it.
Do you know the World Enchantment?
Which one?
You know about World Enchantments. There's a World Enchantment called the Abyss, and this is the Magus for it.
Oh.
The Abyss is a World Enchantment for 3 and black. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, destroy target non-artifact creature that player controls of their choice. It cannot be generated. So that is just Magus is just the stick of it.
So basically it's similar to Magus of the Wheel and so on. Oh, okay. So basically this is giving players an option to play all those what was they called, restricted lists?
Yeah, cards that are restricted. Cards there are
on the reserve list.
On the reserve list, yes. I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
But also swords are coming back.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the swords are coming back. We got no idea if they're going to give all of the other swords.
A lot of people are predicting that the other swords will come back, and I also predicted that maybe Chalice of the Void will be reprinted. Hopefully they reprint it, so I can get a box.
Yeah.
But what's your next favorite card?
Well, you were talking about swords, and Sword of War and Peace is kind of a card that I really want because you could put it in the Boros deck and have fun. So I'm just going to read what it says. Sword of War and Peace is a 3-cost artifact equipment, and it says equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and white, which is kind of dumb in a Boros deck, but the second line is important. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, Sword of War and Peace deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand, and you gain 1 life for each card in your hand.
And then it has a quick 2.
Yes, the quick cost is 2. So basically, if you're playing
it's basically what red and white does. Red deals damage, white gains your life.
Yes, and if you're playing in, I don't know why I want this, but I really want this because it's an addition in my Firesong and Sunskeeper deck. So yeah,
all swords are supposed to be additions to every deck.
True.
I should say that swords should be staples depending on what you play.
Yeah, true. But the thing is, swords haven't been reprinted in a long time.
Unless you count the new ones from Modern Horizons.
Yeah, but those swords were not great. I think the Rakdos sword was
the worst.
Yeah,
it's the worst sword ever.
The Azorius sword was passable.
It's passable.
Yeah.
But I know why you want this.
Why?
Because in your consciousness it says War and Peace, which is basically EDH.
Yeah, kind of. But in honesty, for me, what I really like was, and surprised that they reprinted it, was the Urza lands. Urza Mine, Urza Power Plant, and Urza Tower.
I can now finally play Tron.
Yay! So okay,
Oh my god.
Urza Mine is land Urza Mines, tap, add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. If you control if you control an Urza power plant and an Urza tower, add 2 instead. Urza power plant says tap, add 1 colorless. If you control Urza Mine and Urza power plant, tower, add 2 instead. And so on, except Urza Tower says the same thing, except you gain 3 colorless.
So
one of those one of the things for this one is that I've been hunting this down, and I selected a few cards that I really want, and they're kind of cheap, really. Like, they're not super expensive, like how I thought, but
there are a few dollars.
Yeah, about under $2 probably.
No, around 5.
Really? No, I thought I saw $2 if you're buying.
It depends on the edition, to be honest.
True, but still, it's it's affordable.
Yeah.
But now that but now that it's in the Masters Pack, one of the things is how easily available that you're gonna get, and can you get it easily and whatnot. The thing is, they're just commons, but usually with these kind of things, Wizard has this tendency to kind of short print some cards just to make them scarce.
I have a friend who's like getting maybe a crate. I told him to reserve a playset for me each.
Cool.
And I think that they also have an alternate art version.
Oh yeah.
Which is very nice. It is a panorama with the newest Karn, the new reprinted Karn. And Karn looks like the Hulk right now. Like,
oh wait, you mean Karn is one of the cards in the panorama?
Yeah.
Oh,
he is. I'll show you the art later.
Okay, cool.
So I think that Karn's art is very nice. A lot of people do not like it. I like it because he reminds me of the Hulk Professor Hulk in the Avengers Endgame.
Ah, yeah, that one.
Yeah, I count this as an absolute win.
yeah.
Am I right?
So, okay, going beyond that, right? Some of the cards I'm seeing here, there's promos. And how do you get those promo cards? Because one of the cards inside the promo set are Wrath of Gods and Court of Calling.
You have to go to pre-release. In your local game shop, they will organize a pre-release if they have enough people. But that is only if they have enough people.
Oh, okay.
And can I borrow? I want to
sure.
check it out. Because there are more than one promo. There's actually since it ends the alternate arts and at 372, and these two promos, the Wrath of God promo start at 383
and
Court of Calling is 384. I think there's more than 2 of these promos that haven't been released yet.
Really?
There could be more. So I'm thinking maybe it's just a random one like the Battlebond pre-release, and hopefully we do it like the Battlebond pre-release we did last time.
Oh,
You remember?
I wasn't there, but Battlebond was a good set.
Yes.
And talking about Battlebond, right? They have the green card doubling thing, doubling season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in there too.
Yeah. So I think they'll do the same pre-release. So fingers crossed. So there's another card that is very good. Exploration.
Ah, yes.
Exploration, something that Commander players have been waiting for. Exploration is a 1 green mana enchantment. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. And I think that's a very good card.
Yeah, and the what do we call this? It hasn't been reprinted since when was this again? Conspiracy, and Conspiracy was
quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't started playing Magic in Conspiracy, I only started at Kaladesh, which is like quite recent.
Yeah, it was 2014, and beyond that, it was in Urza Saga.
That's a long time, bro.
Yeah,
but I think that's all. I think I like about the Karn liberated, but we all know what Karn is.
Yeah, and it's currently we're recording this on the 23rd of July.
Yeah,
so we don't have all of the lists out yet. Maybe we get something awesome like another Ugin.
I don't think they will reprint Ugin.
Yeah, I know.
Most probably they will reprint Chalice of the Void.
Or maybe Child of Alara, maybe, right? Because
Well, Child will need to cross our fingers,
Yeah.
but they actually have cards from all three formats: Legacy, Modern, Commander, all three Eternal formats. And I think that's a good point for people, because like the availability of the cards will increase, and they are also reprinting some of the unstable lands and the Zendikar full art lands in a different type of border as well.
Yeah. And previously masters don't really do basic lands, because basic lands are kind of, some players don't really care for basic lands. They just put in whatever is they have.
Yeah,
But
true.
some players like me, I like to put all of my lands the same type of lands if possible.
I'm not that OCD yet, so I use them if they are full art, like the Theros ones, or maybe the Zendikar and our Devastation ones.
Yeah, but yeah, still, the basic lands here are, I won't say, I don't know. I mean, some people hate them, some people like them, and
It's all towards your preference as well.
yeah. But the idea is, these basic lands will be taking up a slot in the land slot instead of putting this. But you could do worse. You could put in one of those bounce lands.
Bounce lands.
Yeah, I mean, they're all over the place now. You buy a Commander Bricon, you get them.
Yep.
So I think that's about it. Besides the price and whatnot, in all honesty, if you are interested in having a great time, having a great experience playing the game, and just playing a pack. If I'm not mistaken, pre-release is done in a seal format.
Usually.
All right, seal format. So that way, join if possible. You buy 3 packs, you get 1 pack for entry, and then if you win, you get another 2 packs if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, you get to win. It depends on which
Format the shop wants to do.
which format the shop wants to do first, and which shop you go to. So let's say you're in Johor, you can come by. You can take a look at our shop. Come and play with us. Even if you don't want to play the pre-release, you can come and play with us in EDH. I can play standard with you. I can play modern with you. He'll play EDH with you.
Yes, I'm only EDH. I'm sorry.
No worries. I'm building my legacy deck, so fingers crossed that I will play with you until we get there. So I don't think there's much to touch on for this topic.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our next segment.
Yep. So next segment will be combo of the day. Do you have anything in mind?
The combo of the day is the Ilharg Middlemai combo.
Ooh. So that
So actually, when you mentioned the Ilharg Middlemai combo, I was like, oh no, I have another combo. I have to think of another combo. But then I was like, well, I can still use it.
Yeah, please use it, man.
So for those who do not know what the Ilharg Middlemai combo is, so it's essentially this: if you have a Jeskai deck, you cast Ilharg, and then you attack with him maybe in the next turn, or maybe if you can give him haste, you attack with him, and with his trigger ability, whenever Ilharg attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and return it back to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. So if you attack with Middlemai and it hits your opponent, you may activate its ability, which it says it triggers an ability whenever Middlemai deals combat damage to an opponent. You may put Middlemai. You may have an extra turn, and then at the beginning of an end step, you return it back to your hand with Ilharg's ability, and then you go to the next turn and you attack with Ilharg again, and then you put Middlemai down again.
Yeah, and so that's the loop.
It's
And
the
Ilharg is the Hellraiser ball, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
He's the rules god.
Yeah.
And something about Ilharg is that because Middlemai has a ability that says Middlemai cannot attack during extra turns, Ilharg has this ability that jumps over that restriction because it directly makes it attacking.
Yeah, it forces Middlemai to attack.
Yes.
So it bypassed its restriction.
Yes, which is why I see a lot of Jeskai decks playing it.
Yeah.
Casual Jeskai decks.
Yeah, in all honesty, Ilharg is too high to cast on its own, and it's too slow.
True. But Ilharg is a good card for casual play.
Yeah.
Like I could cast it on turn 3, attack on turn 4, infinite turn.
True. So anyway, that's a wrap. So if you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions for the show, you can contact us at thegate.watchcast@gmail.com. Yes, we have an email.
Yes.
And also, please subscribe and rate us on iTunes, YouTube. Don't forget to press the bell icon to stay up to date.
Yeah.
Links are in the show notes. And yeah, that's about it.
So be sure to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Remember, we thank you for supporting us and watching the show. We really like to make this kind of content. So if you want to show us some support, you may just email us like he said. So anything else you want to add?
Well, if you're in the Johor Bahru area, come down to Alexandria Bookstore. Over here, there's a lot of awesome players. There's a lot of things. We talked to Adam last week. And yeah, come down and just have fun, man. Like, this place is a really awesome place and a safe place for players wanting to learn and just have fun and relax. The important thing is to relax. So anyway, I have been Norman Sanzo.
And I'm Wilson.
And we'll guys see you next week with another fun episode of the Gatewatch Cast. See ya.